Well, good morning. 4:44 again. I didn't get out of bed till 3:30 today. Back to my what used to be fairly normal schedule that has been abruptly changed in recent weeks. Anyway, let me just read the title and the blurb and then I'll share with you. The title that I selected for today, which I actually selected yesterday, although I didn't write the blurb until this morning, is Hang On, We're Closer Than Ever Before. Even with all the problems we still see in our world, even with the challenges we still face, one thing is certain. We are closer now than we've ever been before to realizing the world we have longed for in the deepest part of our souls, of our being. Our souls have been restless as we face lifetime after lifetime reincarnating on a planet where everything seems backwards, where nothing is really as it appears to be. It's a world where the illusion of separation seems to dominate, where almost everything is fear-driven. One thing is different, though. Many of us are recognizing where we are for the first time while living in the 3D world. We are no longer unconscious. That bodes very well for all of us. We can see the light at the end of the long tunnel. Hang on, we're almost home. The new earth is here now, and we are closer than ever before to attaining peace and justice for all. Once again, I made a mistake and I have to correct it. There it is. It's all done. Just one word. Oh, let me begin with where I was yesterday when I put that title. I came in and typed that title up. I had just been reading some of the emails of people thinking that I was referring to that I'm on some insider information track because I mentioned that I had talked to a couple of friends that gave me great encouragement. They're not insiders. I don't know that I'm aware of anyway. I don't know anybody that would be classified as an insider, as David Wilcock and others. Carrie Cassidy and many that you know about. They say they have inside information. Well, I don't have any inside information. I don't claim to, and I want to make it really clear that I am not being fed information, as far as I know, from CIA operatives or other three-letter agency operatives, such as I believe some of the other people that believe they're getting inside information. I do believe there are people getting inside information, by the way. I don't know that the inside information is always on the up and up. I don't know if it's always as pure as the receivers of that information would like to think it is. I have to think no further than Tim Turner, who was getting information all along that the people in the Republic were safe, and then he gets arrested and he's still in jail since September last year. But in any case, the other point that I made, somebody said, Ron, I can't believe you're still pushing the Republic. And yes, the principle of the Republic I will always push, because Republic is the proper form of government in a physical world. It's a government that maintains everyone's right to be unique, to be themselves. It maintains the separation, if you would, between government and the people, with the people actually on top. Their rights are preeminent. Their rights are the guiding light, the main force. Obviously, that's not how the United States is, and it's not how any country has been operating in the world. We have been driven far off that course to a world where we don't get justice, to a world where the truth is rarely told, where love is the exception and not the rule, fear is the rule. as I said in the blurb. But I'm not talking, when I talk about the Republic coming back and being restored, I'm not talking about Rusa. Rusa was a well-intended but failed operation. It was made up, the leaders of it were, including Tim Turner, were on a plan to create a theocracy. But they couldn't see it as a theocracy because when you're blinded by your own fundamentalism, you can't see, and that's an unconscious state. But many of us are moving beyond that, including people that were and have been in Rusa. We realize that it's not about making our religion the dominant religion. In fact, most of us realize that where we're going, there is no need for religion. There's going to be no need for lots of things that we have in our present world. However, as we discussed in our meeting here last night, there has to be a bridge. And Jerry was pointing that out, that we have to have a bridge from where we are. And I says, Jerry, and he hardly ever watches any of my videos, by the way. He's not into my videos. He comes to my meetings, but he's not into my videos. And I said, Jerry, that's what I've been saying all along, all the while I've been doing these videos, that we need a bridge. Those of you that are clamoring for the new world to be without money and to where nobody eats meat anymore and all these other things that you're on, we have to have a bridge. It's coming fast, this new world that I'm talking about, but it's not completely manifested yet. Regardless of whether the Speaker of the House has been appointed interim president, regardless of whether some of these rumors that we continue to hear are true or not true, whether they're information or disinformation, regardless of any of these things, we're closer to achieving the goal than ever before, no matter what it looks like. There is a huge chess game going on, and it's at cosmic and global levels. I believe that with all of my heart. There are indications, and when I talk to friends that I say encourage me, it's not because they have inside information. It's because they're intuitives. It's because they're people who have a sense of what's happening. And let me tell you, it may not seem rational to an awful lot of people, and I don't care. But the intuitive is actually more powerful right now and more to be paid attention to, from my perspective anyway, than the so-called rational stuff of the 3D stuff, which is still, much of it is still trapped in the illusion, but it's being broken free from the illusion at the same time. The illusion is being revealed for what it is. The delusions are coming to light. That Sandy Hook thing, I mean, it's all over. I mean, that is one of the most bungled jobs. I don't think, I'm of the opinion almost that no children were killed. It was all just a staged event with a bunch of actors, some of them from Florida, up there in Connecticut, claiming to be parents of children that were at the school. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That was a staged event, but we're closer than ever before because we automatically know that it was a staged event. Anybody that pays attention knows that they were advertising stuff in several places online before the event even happened. Just like the BBC announced the collapse of Building 7 20 minutes before it occurred. There was the announcer announcing the collapse of the building, and it was still standing in the background behind her. I mean, these people that run these games are not very smart, folks. Not very smart. And they're becoming less cohesive, a group. They're being challenged right and left. And my computer just flashed on my desktop, and that's one of the things that just before I'm starting this, I'm going to check my emails on Hotmail, and Hotmail won't let me into my account. I can still get into it on my laptop, but I can't get into it on my desktop. Hotmail's all screwed up again. This is not the first time. And all of my Facebook messages now go to my Hotmail account. And It's anyway, that's another whole, see, there's still frustrations. We're still going to be facing things in our lives, in our real world, if you will. We're still going to be facing things that challenge us, that frustrate us, that even may anger us and upset us to no end. But I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you that all the signs that I can see, and more importantly, those that I can feel and sense in my being, indicate that we are moving closer and closer to actual manifestation. Now, one of the things that channeled messages have come through with, I think Sheldon Nidle's message this week, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned it, and I know I've heard it in other places before, that because of the fragility of the human psyche, too abrupt a change would bring too much confusion and perhaps too much violence. So the game plan of the hierarchy, if you will, the spiritual hierarchy, is to as much as possible bring this about on a more slow evolution. Not that it's slow compared to where we've been in the past. It is extremely fast. Nevertheless, in our day-to-day 2011, 2012, 2013 consciousness, it's still proceeding slowly. We would like to see it happen now, those of us that are awake. But those of us that aren't awake, those that wouldn't even be hearing what I'm saying, those people, I mean, it would be like all of a sudden they come out of the cave and the lights are on and they go blind. And I mean, they are in their comfort zone and all of a sudden the whole world has just changed and they're very angry at being shaken out of their comfort zone. So the unfolding, if you will, is somewhat gradual. And they're allowing, obviously, they're allowing the old and the new to exist side by side for a time. And it's been that way, actually, not just now in 2013, but it's been that way. The new world is here, but so is the old world. This is the transition period. This is the time between the ages still, the time without time. We are not fully into the golden age yet, obviously. Obviously. But we're closer to that golden age than we've ever been before. And I want to encourage you, even as I'm encouraging myself. I mean, I've been fighting legal battles, as you know. And one of my friends that has been here listening for almost 2 years now said he's amazed at my resilience. And because of my resilience and my persistence, I will win. Indeed, I will. In all these legal things. Is there justice in the courts? Yes, there is. Is it common? No, it isn't. It's more rare than it is common because most people have been entrapped in the lie. And the justice system has been part of that entrapment done by the monetary system of our world, and the governments and everything has been bought with money. And yes, Steve Moyer, the monetary system, the money system that we have has got to come down. But that doesn't mean we're going to eliminate money. Money is still a bridge. And we're going to come in, I believe with all my heart, to a time of great abundance where everybody has all this wealth. I know I've talked about that before. I might have talked about it yesterday. I don't remember what I did yesterday. That's too long ago for me. I'm living in the now as much as possible. That doesn't mean that I don't think about what's happening. It doesn't mean that I don't plan for what's going to happen. But it's all in the now. It's all in the now. And I encourage you to be in the now and recognize how close we are to the fulfillment of our dreams, to realizing the aspirations of our soul. We're so close. I can see it. I can taste it. I can smell it. I can touch it. I can hear it. It's here. I can use all of my senses and my extra senses to perceive the reality that we're in and that everyone ultimately is waking up to. I hope you don't lose heart. I'm encouraging you not to. We win, folks. Truth wins. Justice prevails. And we're going to learn to love one another once again. And when we do, there will be peace on earth. Thank you for listening. Namaste.